North Texas real estate news is not slowing down. October housing numbers just dropped. Universal Kids revealed all 7 of its lands. Fields West is stacking a blockbuster retail lineup, and Plano's next major master plan community is officially moving forward. There's so much happening in DFW this week that national news didn't even make the cut. The local updates are just too big. Welcome to Jesse's weekly DFW real estate update. I am Jesse Showalter. Let's get into it. This week's headlines are coming in fast, loud, and all from right here at home. So buckle up because we're diving straight into the stories reshaping North Texas right now. Let's begin with the October MLS numbers because they paint a clearer picture of where things actually stand. At the metro level, the median sales price across the DFW MLS area came in at $355,000. That is exactly where it was in September. Flat month to month and flat year over year at 0%. It's the second month in a row that the market has held that line, which tells us stability is in the theme right now, not volatility. Now, when you break it out county by county, the nuance comes through. Dallas County posted a median of $357,500 in October, which is up almost 1% at 0.7% year over year and up from $350,000 in September. That's a modest bump, but a healthy one. Collin County came in at $485,000, down 5.8% year over year and down from $500,000 in September. A lot of that is tied to the mix of homes selling and some softening in the northern suburbs. Tarrant County landed at $338,000, a 0.9% year over year increase, basically flat with a slight gain. And Denton County posted a median $440,000, down 6.4% year over year and down slightly from $445,000 in September. Again, that northern arc of the Metroplex is feeling the softening more than the core counties. When you step back, October wasn't a down month, it was a steady one. The region as a whole is holding firm, and the softening is contained to specific pockets rather than the market at large. It's more of a gentle exhale after a hot stretch than anything resembling a downturn. And speaking of hot stretches, let's talk about Frisco, because as usual, things are moving fast up there. Our first local story takes us up to Frisco, where the Universal Kids Resort, opening in 2026, just revealed the full lineup of lands and attractions. And now that we've seen everything they're building, it's clear this is going to be one of the most kid-centric theme parks ever created. 7 fully themed lands, all designed specifically for younger families and all packed with shows, rides, indoor play zones, and character experiences. The entry point into the park is the Isle of Curiosity, a bright, playful gateway inspired by Gabby's Dollhouse. This is where kids can explore interactive play spaces, meet characters, and ease into the park before venturing out into the bigger worlds. It's a charming introduction that sets the tone for what the park is all about. Everything built at a kid's scale. Just beyond that, you enter Shrek's Swamp Adventure, a DreamWorks-themed land that brings the Shrek universe to life with whimsical rides, splash zones, and a full water play environment themed around the swamp. It's goofy, it's chaotic, kind of like me, and it gives families a place to cool down and let kids burn energy. Nearby is Puss in Boots Del Mar, a carnival-style land with classic family rides, bright colors, and themed entertainment based on the Puss in Boots films. It's designed to feel like a seaside fairground complete with rides, games, and snack spots, but all crafted with that Hollywood-level storytelling. Then you've got Minions vs. Minions Bello Bay Club, which is exactly as chaotic and hilarious as it sounds. The yellow minions and the purple minions face off in a water-focused play environment that includes rides, spray zones, and whimsical minion-style mischief everywhere you look. This is going to be one of the most popular areas of the park for younger kids and probably the loudest. Next is Jurassic World Adventure Camp, a prehistoric playland built for kids who love dinosaurs but aren't quite ready for big thrill coasters. This area includes the Cretaceous coaster, climbing structures, lookout towers, and interactive experiences centered around exploration rather than intensity. A little further in, you'll find Trolls Fest, a colorful musical world based on the Trolls films. Picture dance parties, upbeat rides, vibrant decor, and interactive entertainment. Everything in this land is built to feel joyful, energetic, and full of movement, which is perfect for families with little ones. And finally, there's SpongeBob SquarePants Bikini Bottom, which brings the underwater world of SpongeBob to life. Families can hop onto Jellyfish Field's Jamboree, take a spin at Mrs. Puff's boating school, and explore the Pineapple Paradise Splash Zone. It's bright, it's quirky, and it's full of nostalgia for parents while being brand new for young kids. Now, here's why this matters for real estate. Universal Kids isn't just an attraction, it's a regional anchor. It's a magnet for young families relocating from other states. It bolsters hospitality demand, it supports future short-term rentals, and it adds major value to the surrounding master plan communities. When you pair this with everything happening at the Fields, with PGA Frisco, and with the major retail announcements that were just dropped, you start to see the bigger picture. This part of Frisco is becoming one of the most complete lifestyle ecosystems in the Metroplex, and honestly, in the state. Developers see it, investors see it, and families who are choosing where to move absolutely feel it. This is a long-term value driver for both resale and new construction and is shaping the future of Northern Frisco for the next 10 to 20 years. And that brings us right into our second story, which fits perfectly with all this momentum. North Texas once again dominated the list of best places to move in Texas. Frisco, Plano, McKinney, and Denton all made the list thanks to strong schools, great income levels, expanding job markets, and quality of life amenities. So if you're wondering where Texans actually want to live, the answer hasn't changed. They keep choosing North Texas. And it's not just marketing hype. It lines up with inbound migration data we talked about last week. It lines up with October's MLS stability, and it lines up with the kind of large-scale developments we're seeing announced month after month. Now, on to our third local story. The Dallas Fed made headlines this week with a report that some outlets labeled as Texas economy cooling. But here's the thing, the report itself is far more measured. It says the Texas economy is still expanding, but momentum is fading compared to earlier in 2025. That's not contraction, that's not recession. It's simply the economy returning to a more normal pace after a hot 2024 and early 2025. Job growth is still positive, consumer spending is still healthy, and business activity is still solid. For real estate, this type of normalization is actually helpful. When job growth slows just a bit, it can ease buyer competition without triggering any kind of housing weakness. So yes, the word cooling grabbed attention, but the details suggest a shift toward balance, not trouble. Our fourth local story brings us back to Frisco and to Fields West, where the latest tenant announcements are starting to look less like a typical suburban lineup and more like a true North Dallas luxury district taking shape. On the retail side, Fields West is pulling in some major national names. Crate & Barrel is coming, Design Within Reach is coming, Gorjana, TravisMathew, Our House, Kendra Scott, and yes, Bloomie's, the smaller format concept from Bloomingdale's, opening their first Texas location right here at Fields West. When you start adding brands like that to a single district, you're not just filling storefronts, you're setting a tone for the entire area. These are premium, high-end retailers that don't gamble on unproven locations. They plant roots where long-term demand is undeniable. And on the restaurant side, the momentum is just as strong. Mastro's Steakhouse is opening its first DFW location in Fields West, which tells you everything you need to know about the level of confidence this development is generating. Alongside Mastro's, you've got North Italia, Culinary Dropout, Mexican Sugar, and several more chef-driven and experiential dining concepts on the way. This is the kind of restaurant lineup that anchors a district for the next 20 years. People will drive to Frisco specifically to eat here, and that has a ripple effect on home values and demand throughout the surrounding neighborhoods. What this all means is simple. Fields West isn't just adding stores and restaurants, it's becoming a complete lifestyle district. Between the premium retail, the elevated dining, and Universal Kids right next door, this corner of Frisco is turning into one of the most compelling mixed-use environments in all of North Texas. And for those of you who want to dive deeper, I will include a complete list of the current retail and dining tenants in the comments. Now, let's take a quick look at what happened with mortgage rates this week and what's actually driving the movement. As of Friday, November 21st, when this video was recorded, the average 30-year fixed rate from Mortgage News Daily is sitting at 6.36%. That's up slightly from 6.34% last week. So only a move of 2 basis points, but still enough to keep us pinned near the upper end of the November range. The 15-year is at 5.85%. Jumbo loans are at 6.43%, down a hair. And FHA and VA both dipped 1 basis point, landing right around the 6% line. So rates didn't spike this week, but they definitely didn't soften either. And the reason is the September jobs report finally hit the market, and it landed hotter than expected. According to new commentary from the Mortgage Bankers Association, job growth in September came in stronger than forecasted, and unemployment held steady. MBA's chief economist, Mike Fratantoni, pointed out that a resilient labor market makes the Fed much less likely to cut rates in the near term, and investors know it. That's why the bond market reacted almost immediately. Treasury yields jumped, and mortgage rates followed, which is exactly what we saw on the charts. Now, let's head over to Plano for our new construction community of the week. Lavon Farms is a 215-acre master plan community in East Plano, which recently received approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission. It sits just east of Los Rios Boulevard and will include residential neighborhoods, townhomes, mixed-use pockets, trails, open space, and retail pads. Construction is likely to begin in phases in late 2026. What makes Lavon Farms especially compelling is its history. The site has been a working dairy farm since the 1930s, operated by the Moore family, and at one point the only dairy in the 5-county region selling raw milk. Given how little undeveloped land remains in Plano, this is one of the last major greenfield opportunities in the city, and that alone gives this community added long-term value. The next step is City Council approval, and if all goes expected, construction could begin in phases in late 2026 with a total timeline of around 7 years to complete. Now, let's shift to Jesse's real estate tip of the week. For this week's real estate tip, I want to give you something that will save you a lot of stress when you're trying to make sense of the market. National headlines almost never tell you what's actually happening in your neighborhood. This entire episode is a perfect example. Every major story that matters to your home, prices, developments, schools, jobs, new communities, retail, all of it is happening right here at the local level. That's where your home value lives, not in the national averages, not in the coast-to-coast clickbait, and definitely not in the headlines that try to paint the whole country with one brush. So here's the tip. Focus on what's happening within 5 to 10 miles of where you want to live or where you want to buy. Local headlines give you clarity. National news gives you noise, and the more you tune out that noise, the smarter and more confident your real estate decisions become. And now we'll wrap up things with a Thanksgiving sign-off since we're heading into the holiday week. That's Jesse's weekly DFW real estate update for the week of November 24th. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as we go into Thanksgiving, I hope you get a chance to slow down, spend time with the people you love, and enjoy a moment of gratitude. Whether that's a full house, a full table, or just a little extra piece. I'll be taking next week off, so next update will be on Monday, December 8th. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time.